GOP hopefuls challenging Donald Trump for the 2024 presidential nomination have to walk a fine line when it comes to discussing his latest potential indictment. Now, some are going against him, but also choosing their words very carefully to avoid alienating his supporters.
So senior White House and political correspondent Ed O'Keefe has more from Columbia, South Carolina.
Good morning. Out here on the campaign trail, the Republicans challenging former President Donald Trump are trying to walk a fine line. They've got to find a way to criticize him and the legal issues he faces, but choose their words carefully in order not to alienate his base of support.
Just about every Republican presidential candidate is weighing in on former President Donald Trump's ongoing legal issues.
Step aside for the good of the country.
But some are frustrated that they still have to.
We can't keep dealing with this drama. We can't keep dealing with the negativity. We can't keep dealing with all of this.
Any potential problems for the former president could help his closest rival, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who was peppered with questions Tuesday.
Governor, do the former president's legal issues disqualify him to run for president? You don't think they disqualify him? No answer to that?
Thank you.
DeSantis made his strongest criticisms yet of what Trump did on January 6th.
How he was in the White House and didn't do anything while things were going on. He should have come out more forcefully, of course that. But to try to criminalize that, that's a different issue entirely.
Former Vice President Mike Pence, who's currently running against Trump, was among those who testified before the grand jury in this investigation.
I'm not convinced that the president acting on the bad advice of a group of crank lawyers that came into the White House in the days before January 6th is actually criminal.
Other Republican candidates are sticking to criticizing the Justice Department.
It is embarrassing as the most powerful country anywhere to see the weaponization of our Department of Justice against political opponents.
Every time legal issues pop up for former President Trump, he manages to sustain or grow his support. And that's partly because, given the unique historic nature of what he's facing, all the attention gets diverted back on him, despite what other candidates may be trying to do to grab headlines. And even some of the Republican voters we spoke to here in South Carolina who are considering other candidates say they remain sympathetic to the former president and the issues he's facing and believe he's being unfairly targeted. Henry and Nancy?
All right, Ed, thank you. So for more on the reaction to Trump's target letter, we want to bring in CBS News political director Finn Gomez. Hey, Finn. So once again, Donald Trump outs himself about a possible legal fight that he may have on his hands. How is he responding to the letter?
Good morning, Anne-Marie and Nancy. Yeah, speaking at a town hall in Iowa yesterday, which was hosted by Trump ally and Fox News host Sean Hannity, Trump again derided the DOJ special counsel investigation. He called it, quote, election interference by Democrats. He said he was, quote, bothered by the accusations, but he also said that they want to try and demean and diminish and frighten people, but they don't frighten us because we're going to make America great again. That's in reference, of course, directing his criticism to the Biden administration and the DOJ, still being defiant on this front, Anne-Marie.
Finn, last night, Republican Congressman Don Bacon was on American Decides. He was asked about Trump's target letter, and I want to ask you about it, but first let's play what he had to say.
Sure.
I do believe these charges are serious. I'll say that right up front. I know many of my colleagues see some disparities, whether, it's some of the previous cases with secrets in a garage, secrets and apartments versus the president being charged. I would also say two wrongs don't make a right, and all these cases are different.
How does the severity of these charges, how do they compare to the other cases against Trump, and does that even really matter to his supporters?
Yeah, Nancy, speaking to some legal experts this morning and some of Trump's rivals, the sense is that these charges are significant compared to some of the other investigations, both federal and state. These are also historically significant. Essentially, what this alleges, essentially, in some of the reports of the what's listed in this letter. It essentially is that a former president tried to interfere in the democratic process which he was sworn to protect. It will likely be the most complex case and has that historical impact due to the January 6th attack that it's related to.
So CBS News has confirmed that Donald Trump called House Speaker Kevin McCarthy and Congresswoman Elise Stefanik after receiving the letter. Can you tell us a little bit more about the relationship between the three? Certainly Stefanik has been a supporter of Donald Trump, but McCarthy has kind of gone back and forth.
He has, but especially when there are multiple Republicans, as we know, running for in this race. However, he has been close to Donald Trump, and I confirmed yesterday via sources familiar with the call that the former president did call Speaker McCarthy and Elise Stefanik yesterday to discuss how to strategize, how to defend Trump after this target letter from the Department of Justice. So it shows the closeness that he has to the Republican leadership on the Hill.
Finn Gomez, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.